next question. What do you love about living in Arkansas so much?
I guess I know Arkansas and I feel comfortable here. I know the good and the bad. I'm not saying I wouldn't live here, because if I knew the good and the bad of somewhere else and liked some of the good better, I'd live there. But I guess I'm just used to it, and I don't see any reason to go somewhere I don't know what it's like and stuff like that. And the weather's fairly better than most states.
Okay.
Fairly.
Okay. Now I'll ask you a question about me. What do you remember about when I was born?
Oh my God, everything. I remember they had to knock me out because you were huge, of course. And I remember I was waking up and they were wheeling me back, and people were turning around and whispering and stuff, and I was like groggy, and they're like, yeah, that's the one that had that 11-pound, 2-ounce baby. And I was like, huh? Me? And yeah, you were a big one. And I remember too, when I was, when one of the times they brought you in to see me, and this nurse was holding you up, and you must have given her some kind of a face, because she just busted. Oh my God! And she'd seen babies, forever. And she just thought you were the most expressive little baby in the world, and she just got the biggest kick out of that. Yeah.
And it was not even a C-section, right? It was just regular. What, 2 weeks late? Which they wouldn't even do anymore.
No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't allow that.
No, they wouldn't allow that. So you got extra bake time.
I didn't want to come out. Okay, so then what do you remember about Daniel being born?
Okay, let's see. Daniel being born. Oh, okay. Well, when you were born, at least they gave me stuff and knocked me out. By that time, we were getting all modern, and you weren't, you had to do it natural, supposedly, whether you wanted to or not, and I didn't. And so I got to be awake, which was really difficult. Oh my God, I remember grabbing onto like nurses and doctors and pulling down curtains, and then he came out and he promptly pissed on the doctor. And I remember he used to have the hiccups when he was in me all the time, whenever I'd be at a meeting at work and stuff. And let's see. Pretty much it. He was pretty big too. He was 9 pounds.
Yeah. And this was before gender reveal parties.
Yes. Yes.
We thought he was going to be a girl, right?
I guess. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Kind of a surprise.
Yeah. The nurse knew. Now, she could have told me, but I didn't want to know. So she didn't say anything, but she knew what it was when they did my scan. And so it's like, okay.
And just thinking back, Daniel's pretty mild-mannered now, but he wasn't always that way growing up.
See, you were an easier baby. And then you got into your teenage years, and you were a teenager, like, a teenager, like combative, hard to deal, He was kind of the opposite, because he had, all his ADHD and stuff, and when he was little, he was hyper and screaming and loud and running around and wouldn't stop, and that drove me crazy. And then as he got older, he got calmer and stuff. Of course, that could have been the medicine too, but yeah, he got better, and then y'all kind of evened out, tapered out, to be perfect.
Yeah, because we didn't get along as much when we were younger, right? We'd argue a lot and fight.
Well, I wouldn't say you'd argue and fight, but I don't think you were too happy about him being
Maybe a little jealous.
You were kind of like rolling your eyes like, oh my God, what's that kid doing now? He was always doing something he wasn't supposed to be.
So, is there anything about Minnesota, maybe besides me, that you miss about it? Honestly.
Minnesota that I miss. It's just not for me. It's just not.
But it's changed a lot. What do
It's changed a lot.
Are you looking forward to visiting back for the first time
Oh
in 20
yeah,
years?
yeah. It'll be nice to see people. It'll be nice to see everyone that I haven't seen for how long?
Over 20 years.
Over. And I know it's changed a lot. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with Minnesota. It's beautiful. It's cold. It's a good place for families. Truly it is. It's just not for me. It's like it's almost too good for me, if that makes sense. Like I'm more of a person who needs to be in the South, I think. Because I'm not. You have to be kind of high standard to be. I don't know. Maybe that's my perception, but I feel like they're a lot more not opposite of laid back. They're a lot more like hardy and not as easy to be around. Um, not not that they're not friendly, but it's just easier for me to be in the South. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
When you did live there, is there anything you can remember having fun doing, like with your friends or like a weekday? Was there anything you enjoyed about being up there?
Let's see. Just being a mom was really the only thing I looked forward to. I liked my job. I just didn't like the way the people were at my job. I don't know. After living in the South and people are so nice and friendly, it was hard for me to get used to people that were kind of so reserved all the time. And they just are. I mean, I don't know. They just are, and that's great. That's great for some people.
How about thinking about travel and vacations you've been on?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your, as you've traveled a lot of places, what are some of your favorite ones that come to mind?
Jamaica, baby. Oh
what do you
man.
love about Jamaica?
Huh?
What do you love about Jamaica?
Everything. It's beautiful there. It's you can just do anything. It's so laid back, and it's like everything is. There's no time schedule. There's no anything like that. There's no like I have to be here at so and so o'clock to go on this tour and that tour and this and that. You can just do whatever you want, whenever you want. And the places we stayed, my God, like big window, and then a little circle of stairs go down to the water and just dive right in the water. And from the simplest things like the bashful lady grass, you'd rub your hand over and it'd all lean back like the wave. And just the little stands and the little markets and the uniqueness of it. Of course, but by far is Bruges and Amsterdam, by far.
Why is that?
Oh my God. It's like everything you ever think of it would be. Bicycling everywhere and the beautiful canals and the boats and the beautiful cobblestone walkways that go through all these old buildings that have been there for hundreds of years with art that would make you want to cry. Oh my God. Breathtaking. Everything just seems just perfect. I mean, I know it's not, but where we stayed, God, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
back maybe to when you were growing up, when you were younger,
Hmm.
you didn't always live in Arkansas. You lived in California. What are your memories about living in California when you
I
were
loved
younger?
California. I loved it. There was just, and it was so strange because I went to visit you in California, and I hadn't had that feeling since I was a little girl of the beauty of it and the way it was laid out and the way it was. When I was a kid, I didn't know that that meant there was a lot of money there. It just was beautiful to me. The trees, the way things are so like eclectic and cool. I love it. I just love it. And it was that way when I was a kid, but I didn't know that's what it was. I just knew you know, this is a neat place to live, even though we didn't have money or anything. But then you didn't have to for it to be nice.
Right.
So.
Well, I remember when you visited, you were looking at how much houses were.
No. No, I'd have to be a prince or a princess to be able to do that, but I don't think I'd want to live there. I don't. If I had a whole lot of money, no, because there's just another they're just another group of people that are in a different league than normal people. Whereas somewhere like Austin, yeah, they've got money, but it's not like that where they're in totally separate classes. You know, it's like just right.
Okay, great. So now thinking about your kids getting married, what was your first thought when you heard Daniel was going to get married?
Whoo,
First or
fear,
second time?
fear, definitely. But I just wanted him to be happy, and I wanted her to be happy, and I was really happy to meet her, and I thought it was great. She's from England, um, and I can see how happy he is. So, absolutely thrilled, and with you as well.
We'll get to me in a second. Can you see them having kids and you having grandkids?
I can see me having grandkids. I think they might want to, and I think they are, but I think they might want to just like wait and see how things go as far as their situation. They might not. That's fine too. But yeah, I'm ready to be a grandma any old time.
Okay, and then did you ever think that I would get married?
You said you would never get married, but I wasn't. I was hoping you would. I was hoping you would. And then when y'all were together for so long, I'm thinking, well, is he just going to keep her on a string or what the heck, you know? And then when you finally did ask, I was so happy. My God. So happy. Yes.
I'm glad you approve. What are you looking forward to most about the wedding?
Oh, just seeing y'all start your life. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people from the past. I'm looking forward to the trip down there, the road trip. All of us being together, you know. Uh, whew, hoping I don't cry.
It's okay if you do.
Um, I'm looking forward to everything about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really am. I'm so excited. It's like it's not. I'm when I get closer to it, I'm gonna really be excited, nervous. It's almost like I'm getting married.
Yeah, we're excited too.
I know.
Okay, so those are some obviously very happy, positive things. I'm just curious, when I was down here before, recently being diagnosed with cancer, what was in your mind kind of your first thoughts when you heard that from the doctor?
Yeah. Well, not what I thought it would be, because they sent me from the VA to UALR, where there were, or no, at the VA, there was a woman doctor, and she said, I'm sending you to UALR because you have this and we don't have this. And Robin just was next to me, and she was just bawling out, crying. I felt like I had to take care of her. I'm like, it's okay, Robin. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Even though, honestly, I didn't know. I'm like, it's going to be all right, even though I didn't know it was. But I was more upset that she was so upset. You know what I mean? I didn't want her to feel that way. I didn't want anybody to feel that way.
Did it take a little bit to sink in for you? Like maybe a couple days later is when you kind of
Well, maybe it was kind of like shocking, but it's like, wait a minute. So I guess, yeah, it kind of did, but at the same time, I didn't, you never know how you're going to feel. And I wasn't scared. I was just like disappointed. I didn't want other people to be upset. And I still don't, you know. I mean, it just hurts me to see other people being upset. I don't like that. But like, my dad came to visit me. I hated that. I hated that he was, I could tell he was upset, and I know my mom was hurt, and I hate that. I don't, that's the worst part of it, you know?
Well, on the positive side, did you feel support and love that maybe
Oh,
you hadn't felt
yes. Oh, yes. Unbelievably. Yeah. I'm so blessed. I mean, oh, and I knew I was, but I never knew how much. But I am so blessed. Everybody.
And, you know, going through all your therapies and everything, I know it's not easy, it's tough, but you've been strong. And I think maybe subconsciously you might not know, but I feel like the wedding might be kind of a help. It's like something to look forward to.
Absolutely. Oh, it's not subconscious. I know that. I'm like, I'm bound and determined. I'm going to make it to the wedding. Yes. That's, I mean, I might be a ghost, but I'm going to make it to the wedding. I'll be there in spirit. Haha.
So when I came down in, I think, November or October, is when I came to visit you. You had to go to the hospital that same day. You didn't know I was coming down. And then that night, you guys FaceTimed and thought that might be. The doctor said that could be it. And
yeah.
It's obviously very scary and
yeah.
sad at all the same time. And, you know, it's a call that you'd never hoped to make or take or anything. But for you, what was that like? That's something a lot of people don't experience when they're told that. Like, what were your emotions?
Well, Robin's the one that keeps telling me that they said you might not live through the night. And honestly, I might have heard it, but it didn't process, maybe. I knew I was bad off. And I knew after my surgery, when I got back here, I knew, I didn't think I was going to make it. I really didn't, and I was scared. Because I didn't feel like I had enough time and things that I wanted to do, things I wanted to say to you, to Daniel, to everybody. So I'm really grateful I'm getting that. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Whew, thank you.
We're very grateful too. Has your outlook on life changed at all the past 6 months?
Yes.
How so?
I know what's important. Okay. And it's not, you know, having good cushions on your couch or too much of anything, really. It's just, it's family, it's people, it's your people, my people.
That's good to hear. We're so glad, of course. Makes you, I think from us too, we appreciate every moment now. It's just you kind of, just as in life, you take things for granted, and all of a sudden you realize
Good Lord, yes. Yes.
What would you like to be doing 10 years from now?
Well, I don't know if I should dare to plan that long ahead. I want to be doing something, I don't know what specifically, but I want to be doing something productive, something that helps people. Maybe doing something to help people who just found out they've got cancer, or their families, or help them to deal with it, or because I think a lot of people that work at palliative and that work at UAMS, a lot of those ladies I think are volunteers. You know, and I can tell a lot of them wear wigs and stuff. So I'm thinking they're volunteers that have been through it and maybe want to help people. So something like that. I want to do something that's meaningful. I want to have something, my life be meaningful since I get to have it, you know. So.
Who would you say is your hero or somebody you look up to?
Like a real person or a...
Anybody.
Oh, God.
Someone you know, someone you don't know.
Anybody that's a good person from here, really, really is a good person. Somebody that's willing to learn and not just be stuck on one certain page and like, this is the way it is, that's the way it's always going to be, da 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 da. And there's a lot of people like that, but a kind person. I just want to be a kind person. I want to be a kinder person. You know what I mean? Well, not always. Not always.
If you were to have grandchildren, and God forbid, if some reason something happened, like what would you want them to know? What would you like to say to them?
Oh. Well, I'm always worried about my grandchildren before I have them because I'm worried about their safety and stuff because the world is so horrible. But I want them to be good people and I want them to be happy. I don't want them to ever have, which is impossible, I don't want them to go through any kind of strife or pain or anything. I want to be able to have them have the happiest life and know they were loved the most in the world by me. Yeah. And I want to kiss their little faces and their little hands and their little feet. And I want to wrap them up and hold them and snuggle them, just like you.
Well, I mean, you kind of have grandchildren. Talk about your relationship with your dogs and what dogs mean to you.
Oh, they're just so special. They just live to love. You know, they just know love. They don't know anything but love. And all they care about is loving you and you loving them. And their hearts are pure gold. There's no evil intent. There's no what about me. Well, maybe when it comes to food, treats. But yeah, they're just angels to me. They're just pure of heart and precious and such a gift. They're such a gift.
Well, the first dog I ever had was Penny growing up, and she was very special. What do you remember about her?
Oh, Penny girl. She was super sweet. She always had to herd you. She was a herder. She was a beautiful dog. Very loving. Very good. And even with all that, they all have their different personalities. They all are so unique, but yet they all are so loving. But yet they're all so different. It's great.
And your kind of special dog is Henry. Talk about that relationship.
Yeah. Henry's a baby. He's just the biggest baby you ever saw in your life. He's innocent. He's endearing. He's just got the most sweetest, innocent, caramel brown eyes that just love. I mean, I can't explain it, but when I look at him, I just see love. You know, I need grandkids. But he just follows me around with his little aching legs and everything, but he's always going to be where I am. I don't know. He just has a special draw. Can't explain it. Just
Just something special.
just like a child. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I think that's all the questions I have. You did very well. Thank you for taking the time to
Absolutely.
document some of that. Some good
I hope
memories.
you edit some of the crappy stuff out of it. There's going to be a lot.
It's all good.
Okay.